The S&P 500 stock chart. The stock market is throwing some pretty ugly red candles here on Sunday night already, so I don't even know if we're going to be able to make it up to the bull channel, but it's a bearish picture for this week. It looks pretty bearish to me. So let's do some trend lines. Let's talk about a little macro, check out the dollar, stuff like that, because this week could be friggin' fireworks, and people might get caught with their pants down. Please like, share, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications to help me out. What am I doing? S&P, right? S&P. Alright, so this is Sunday night. We're getting some interesting candles here. We're getting some red candles. It doesn't look like a big deal on the daily chart, but here's the big picture. We have our long-term bull channel here since the 2008 crash, right? And we started stabbing down out of that. Started stabbing down out of our bull channel, but we're back in here now. And then we picked up a smaller bull channel and go on the hourlies. You know, for the last few months, we've been in the smaller bull channel here, and we started breaking down out of this thing. So this purple line looks still good. We got this bear line now that we painted pretty hard here. No coils underneath. I like this purple line for support. Now this red downtrend line, we have already destroyed it. There's several coils underneath that thing. The red line is dead, but it's also only lasts for a minute. You know, until like April 1st or something. So it doesn't really matter anyway. But the thing that's happening now, like the last time we pulled down out of the channel, we did some stabbing moves and we jumped back up in the channel. So that's all good and fine. But this time when we came down, we coiled underneath, we did a false break-in, we back tested hard off the channel, then we did like this grinding rejection off the back of the channel. And I figured that grinding rejection would fall out, but it hasn't. We got another bounce and we got another big move, you know, Friday into close. We got this huge green candle into close, and it looks like it wanted to get up here and back test this channel again at, you know, that's all-time highs. It would be back testing at all-time highs, but it looks like it didn't quite make it to the highs, and it looks like it's crying red crayons. Oh no. So man, where's this thing gonna be in the morning? Yeah, that may be where we start a down move, right there off of that peak, because that's starting to look like a parabolic reversal. But I wouldn't be surprised at all to get up here Monday testing this channel. That's what I was thinking was going to happen. But whether we make it up there or not, I do think that we're underneath the bull channel here, and we're inside the big bull channel, and there's really nothing, no kind of support that matters in between here and that's what is this, like 35.26 on April 2nd or something like that. And so that's the whole S&P. Looks like it might want to pull down to support there, and then you get really good support and you can get a huge slingshot move off this purple line. That's as far as I would think we would pull back. I mean, I don't think we're doing like a freaking COVID crisis pullback, like way down out of the channel or something right now. But I want to talk about sector rotation and look at like Ark and Tesla, because you can see the S&P. It's been pulling back, but it's been pulling back and then going to the highs or close to them. But obviously, Tesla has been doing similar bounces as the market, but it's obviously not bouncing anywhere near the highs. This is Tesla, and Tesla threw a green candle into close just like the S&P did, but it definitely wasn't a green candle to all-time highs. On this chart, it's just a candle up to this neckline, and it looks really bad. So I've had the target of 420.69 as the downside on Tesla for a little while. But this downtrend line is, I mean, where would we have to go? Oh, this is Ark. I'm sorry. Ark and Tesla are almost the same chart. Yeah, I'm like, wait a second, Tesla's not going to 70. What is this? Yeah, so I don't know. This kind of 80 something area on ARK has some support. I think if it comes down, it's gonna want to attack this red line though. So I mean, I could see where like April 1st. I mean, ARK could be attacking 70 or something like that by April 1st if the whole market pulls back. That's kind of wild. And then Tesla, right? I was saying 420.69, the downside target. This chart I think has less support in the way. This has been my preferred stock kind of for the put options. I've been putting it quite a bit, but I closed all my options. I don't have any puts right now. I'm just kind of checking out the action here, because Tesla actually has a pretty similar support as ARK does. It has sort of this neckline support, and then the red line kind of going below it. So where's April 1st? Here, like, yeah, if we want to stab this red line again, I mean, that's below 400. That would not surprise me at all for Tesla to stab down here. It looks like it wants to. It's drooping. It's like not rallying with the market. It looks like it wants to fall off. But this is my big sector rotation theory that is too bold, but I'm going to say it anyways. Which, I mean, it's a normal thing in a credit expansion cycle. Like, when you start bubbling, when you start getting the credit expansion, which started around the 70s, like the bonds start bulling first, and then tech and growth starts bulling. Like tech and growth started bulling around 1982, and then like this is the rotation out of tech and growth. Like we already started rotating out of the bonds like last year, and they've just been eating it hard. And so they started sucking, you know, after the COVID crash and everything's rallying real hard. The bonds didn't. They didn't. They got trapped under this downtrend line, and then they've been getting even worse. So this is what you get when you're coming to the end of a credit expansion cycle. The bonds will start falling off. First, you rotate out of the bonds, and then you start rotating out of the tech and growth, which nobody sees that coming, and people are going to freak out. But when I say rotation, I don't mean like this week. I mean the whole everything bubble since 1982. Like that's the end of tech and growth, and it's going to be a trailing sector for the rest of the bubble. But I don't think we're to the top of the bubble. So I don't know how far down this can go, but I imagine when the market rallies, these are going to rally as well, but I don't think they're going to be anywhere near as strong as what people are thinking they're going to be. I think they're going to pull down, and then they're just going to be weak. So I'm basically looking at shorting ARK and Tesla down this week, and that's it. I'm not calling them up. Like, I'll be looking at other stuff. Materials, minerals, miners, stuff like that. The IWM has been interesting. This was looking super strong, but this pull down is pretty nasty. Now I don't really trust this thing. These are weird ones. They've been bulling really hard with you know, with the bull market. Like IWM has been wild, but it pulled down a little more than I expected it to over these last couple of chops. But this sector, like Freeport's my favorite in the minerals and metals kind of sector. It's a mining and mineral company that has all kinds of different stuff, but you can see this didn't pull down quite that much, and it has a similar chart. This is just like a super high momentum bullish chart in the sector that I think is going to be the leading sector to the top. So that's what I'm looking at, is kind of shorting ARK and Tesla down, and then probably calling FCX up. And that should be happening over the next week or two. We'll see what's going on. There's some similar kind of plays like uranium, URCCF. This is a uranium royalty company, so this isn't more like a commodity play, but this is a relatively bullish thing, and there's no options trading on this. But that's kind of like a energy and kind of miners and minerals kind of play as well. I could probably do another video on silver. I think silver is complicated because it's like part commodity, and commodities are bulling, and it's like part, you know, like a inflation hedge alternative currency kind of thing, like gold. And gold has been bearish for a long time, so silver's kind of like doing two different things at the same time. And then Bitcoin's kind of similar to those things. So for me, Bitcoin seems like it's a little bit ahead of itself. I'm looking at these moving averages kind of coming under here, and I pulled my trend line back because it was too hot. It was too hot. It was like aimed at like $1 million Bitcoin this year. So if we get on this Bitcoin chart, this thing was looking bearish on Friday, but it's in an interesting spot here where it's jumped on top of the neckline, it's jumped on top of the downtrend line, and it's testing the support out. So if this thing breaks back down, like if this thing falls under 54, I think it's going to fall like to this neckline and maybe all the way to support a 40 or something, like 40 to 45 area. I think it'll pull back in here. If we can hold this support level, it could just freaking take off right now. Like, it could just go crazy again. But I think we're probably going to fall in here and come back and find these support areas because we've been away from the moving average for a long time on Bitcoin, and it almost never does that. Like, it's just a little too hot, I think. I've been tracking oil because oil kind of fell off the peak here, and I don't think a whole lot of people are looking at an oil trade. It's just been bulling, you know, for the last year or something like that. But we broke out of the top of our long-term channel here, and we fell off of our bull trend line. And so I think there's going to be a short position on oil, and I'm looking at like 3-year puts on UCO because it's that super leveraged oil ETN. And long-term puts on that thing are just the coolest thing ever because it just keeps like losing percentages all the time. It's like a day trading thing. So let me click on UCO. I've been mentioning that a couple of times. I don't think anyone's talking about that at all, but I am. You're gonna hear about oil on my channel because it's just like it's such a good short if it happens. So the chart looks pretty similar to like the oil chart, except for here, if you come out and look at this thing, except for the way that this thing is leveraged, it will fall off a freaking cliff when oil falls. And then this huge oil rally back, you know, to the highs, like this thing didn't rally anywhere near that, and that was a mean rally. Usually when oil's bulling, this thing's kind of going sideways, and then when oil's crashing, that thing falls off a cliff. I mean, it's so bizarre. It was insanely high. I mean, look, it falls from freaking 10,000 down to 300, and then the big oil bull market, the thing's just kind of wobbling, and then it falls off a cliff from 500 down to $10. Boom, and this huge oil rally only got it back up to 63. Anyway, just this UCO contract thing, it's just leveraged, and it has futures rollovers, and it's like the coolest thing to short if oil is going to go down, which I don't know if that's a good theoretical play. But this looks like a topping area. Even if oil is not going to get super bearish, it still looks like a good trade entry for a short position. So anyway, that's the kind of stuff I'm looking at there. Oh, and GME, I don't think we have any news on this. Let's see if there's any action on GME. On the 5-minute chart. Yeah, it's just kind of pulling back. So GME, we've busted out of our down channel. Come on, paint the chart. Here we go. Yeah, so we've been stuck under this thing all the way from whatever it was, 333 or something. and we pulled all the way back through this 194 neckline, came down and found a really interesting support area. Then I made up a potential bullish trend line that fits this action on the bounce. So I'm thinking we did a little false breakout of the neckline again here at 194. We're just gonna pull down and check out support. I think Monday it looks like we're gonna check out support in here. And then if we're able to pick up this trend line and it pushes us through the if we get a support trend line pushing us through the neckline, like I think that's the actual squeeze going to be taking off. That could be happening Monday, Tuesday, something like that on GME. That's a pretty cool thing. AMC is like the twin sister, which just sort of follows GME, but I think GME is the real chart, and AMC just kind of does similar stuff. But I don't like the look of this chart very much right now. It looks like it kind of fell underneath some stuff. I don't like where it is at all, just as far as the charts go. And I've been playing around with some miners and things like that, but I don't know how safe it is to try to trade anything while I'm looking at putting like the whole market, but not the whole market, just like the tech sector. I think will lead that move down if and when it does it tomorrow. Yeah, so let's go back and check out some dollars. So this is kind of a weird thing where 5-minute chart's not very helpful on the dollar. The dollar's bulling crazy hard. It's jumping, it's freaking flagging out. It looks extremely mean, but like this big up move should be really bad for the stock market, but we have the S&P throwing a freaking giant green candle at the same time that the dollar is going vertical. Like, these things almost always trade opposite. And Friday did something super weird where they're both bulling at the same time, and that just is like a what is happening kind of thing. But what is happening to me looks like the dollar is actually bulling, and it looks like this thing is going to come back to where it came from. I think this was a fake green candle. It didn't even make it up. I don't think we're getting up to that channel again, man. I think we're falling out here. We'll just have to see where it is. We'll have to see where we are, in the morning session. But I'll try to get this video out soon. I don't know. I don't know if I can get it out in time. I may post this thing tomorrow. Anyway, that's kind of look at the market. We're like near all-time highs, but we're in a super bearish spot. And so the upside as far as the bulls go is, I mean, you want to get back into this channel, right, and flag and get support. And so that's sort of the bullish look. And that can definitely happen. I guess the most dramatic bear scenario is you get up and backtest the channel, and then you come down here to support, and then you even stab through it, and who knows, like stab all the way down to the previous neckline or something, maybe, and then bounce up, and then rally. Something like that is maybe the most dramatic kind of pullback through support, slingshot, whatever. But then I think that when we're going up to the top of the everything bubble here, which I think is going to be later this year over in this area somewhere, 40 whatever, 43 something. I think we're going to be up over here later this year, but I think that it's going to be the miners and minerals and stuff like that that are leading that last move, and not tech. I think tech is going to fall out of bed this week, next week, and it's not coming back. Sorry to everyone that likes Cathie Wood and Tesla stock and stuff like that, but I think that this rotation out of tech is going to absolutely kill them. If it happens, if we get this trading pattern. If we start bulling now, then forget anything I just said, but if we do pull back, that's what I think it's going to look like. Yes, not investment advice. That's kind of a long one. I didn't really have a point when I was starting this video. I just wanted to... We're at a super drama, like, spot where we could be reversing into a down move like right now, which would be frustrating for me because you can't trade options Sunday night. And I have a whole freaking account that's all cash. I closed all of my shorts. I closed everything. So Monday is going to be a big day for figuring out positioning, which for me looks like maybe call some GME and put some Tesla or something like that, and potentially put oil if it comes up. Oil needs to get to like oil needs to come up to like almost 63 again. I'll put the crap out of oil if it gets to 63 again. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know. I'm holding. Oh my goodness, I'm actually shorting. I'm actually shorting Bitcoin on Ledger X, and I'm not proud of it. It's the scariest and dumbest like put thing you can do, but I think it's gonna pull back, so I did it anyway. Plus, I don't have enough money in that account for the call options that I want to get, and so if I put it down, I'll probably have enough money to get the call that I want when it's at the price that I want to call it. Anyways, wish me luck on that. But the market in general is doing a bunch of weird stuff, and I think it is super dangerous. I think we are rotating out of tech, and I think we are gonna have an interesting week or two here. People are gonna be freaking out, and then only on this channel will you know will you know the sectors that are going to be bulling to the top. And it's not going to be Tesla. It's not going to be Ark Invest. It's going to be these miners and minerals and materials stock like FCX, which is the momentum leader in that sector. And then these little miners might be pretty cool, like Load. There's a bunch of tiny miners that could do cool stuff. Yeah, so anyway, and I was thinking about like IWM maybe being good off support, but it's just the chart's not as good as the miners, and it pulled back harder than I thought it was going to. So I mean, actually, IWM might even be an okay short the next week or two if it's going to get this week. Like that's a mean. I don't know. I think I just stay away from that one. I think the other moves are more obvious. I'm not really sure what that one's doing. Right. So yeah, the strong dollar move is going to be crushing the stock market this week, is what I'm thinking. And you can see the dollar against the yen is even more ridiculous. Like it's just freaking bulling out of control. And it's been bulling since Jan 6 on the Dixie and on the dollar versus the yen chart. But yeah, I think the dollar is actually bulling, and the green candle was kind of a fake reach. We're not getting back up there. I don't think we're getting back up there. Anyway, that's the update. Happy trading.